Hello everybody, it's Keren here from tuppencecoloured.co.uk, and this is the card that I'll be making today. It's a twisted gatefold card, and if you stay with me I will show you how I made it. These are the things that I'm going to be using to make my card today. I have a piece of thick very vanilla, yes you heard me right, thick very vanilla, which is 11 1/4 by 5 3/4, and that's going to be my card base. And I've got a scrap piece of very vanilla, again the thick very vanilla, and some soft sky, and I'm going to be stamping and die cutting on those. To mat on the front of my card, I've cut myself a piece of Falling in Love DSP. Now this is going to be retiring at the end of this month, so if you want it and it's still in stock, grab it quick. And I have cut this to 5.5 inches by 3.5 inches. I'm going to be stamping with the Eastern Beauty stamps, and I'm going to be using Night of Navy ink. Now the Eastern Beauty stamps, you can get them now. They're going to be in the new catalogue, but you can get them now as part of a bundle. Alright, there are 2 bundles available. There's a big one and there's a smaller one, and they are at a good saving. So if you think you might like those things, again, now's your chance. And also from that same Eastern Palace bundle, I am going to be using the Eastern Medallions dies. Here's my thick very vanilla card, and I'm going to score it at 3 3/4, and I'm going to spin it round, and I'm going to score it again at 3 3/4, and by doing it that way it saves me doing calculations about where I want it to be. The next thing I want to do is I want to score from corner to corner here and from corner to corner here. I've got a silicone mat down on my table just to give me something to press into. I keep this one for crafting, but actually it was designed for use in baking. So you don't necessarily always have to go to the craft department. And I'm just going to join those 2 corners with my ruler and score. And I'm going to do the same on this side, and it is important that they go in the same direction. You don't want to go from corner out to corner in on that one and then corner in to corner out. You need them to be running parallel to each other. That is very important, because if you don't do that your card won't fold correctly. Okay. So with those in place, whoops, stay there in bottom 2, and get my bone folder. There it is. So now with those scores, so now I'm going to get my bone. So now I'm going to get my bone folder, and I'm going to put in my scores. To score. And the burnishing is important, guys. Okay. And that is the shape that you will end up with. Okay, now I'm going to take a bit of time and I'm going to really burnish those folds down well, and I'll be back when I've done that. I've burnished those folds as well as I can for now. I may come back a bit later on and give them another going over, because I want that to be really crisp. And I'm putting that to one side as a visual reference for myself, because I want to make sure that when I cut this piece from corner to corner, as I'm going to do in a moment, I cut it from the correct corner, because I want my paper to be that way. So I want to cut from there to there. If I cut from there to there, it's not going to fit properly the way I want it to. So that's why I find it useful to keep the actual card base where I can see it, so I don't waste a piece of DSP, particularly as this is retiring and they're not going to be able to get it anymore. But it's such a pretty colour. So this card is really, it's a very much a mix-up of old and new. It's I'm using stuff that's not going to be around anymore, and I'm also using the stuff that's coming in. Right, now I'm going to start in the middle of this piece, and I'm going to go forwards and backwards because I don't want to I don't want to make a mess of the corners when I'm slicing through them. I want a nice clean slice, okay? And now then that will fit onto the front of my card just like that, and that one will fit like that, and my pattern is going in the right direction. So next thing, let's bring in some snail, which is over here, and let's apply some adhesive to these pieces. Plenty in the points. Of course, the other thing I could have done, I could have brought in a second piece and cut it so that it went like that way, and going to do some stamping next, and I've put the Enjoy Today from the Eastern Beauty stamps onto my block. I'm inking it up with my Night of Navy ink, and I'm just going to pop that down into the middle of my strip of Very Vanilla. And I'm giving it a little bit of time for the ink to transfer, and I think that should be good enough. Right, okay, I'm happy with that. And now I'm going to take this stamp and tell you what I like about this as well. This is open, which means that if I wanted to do them all in the same colour, I could have taken that sentiment and plopped it into the middle just like that. And I could have stamped them all in one go. But because I want them to be two different colours, and this is Sahara Sand, I didn't do that. Okay, right, now I'm going to decide which way up I want that to be, to make sure that doesn't move around, and I think I'm going to have to do it that way because I haven't positioned it quite high enough onto my card. So I'm using these little pointy bits to try and help me get it centered, and push down and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And yeah, it's not too bad. I will live with that. Now I've got my scrap piece of Pool Party, and still with the Sahara Sand ink, I'm going to stamp on that as well. There we are. Right, so now I have those stamped. Let me put my ink away before I do my usual and stick my thumb in it or something. I am going to take this die from the Eastern Medallions, which is an amazingly versatile set, and I am going to cut these out on the Big Shot, and I'll be right back. I'm back with my pieces die cut out, and I've decided actually that that is a little bit bare, so I'm going to take another one of the stamps from the same set. It's this little curly little icon here, and I'm just going to pop this down into each of these corners, just like that. So I'm trying not to get my head in shot. And that one went a little bit off, but never mind, we'll pretend. Okay, we'll just pretend. There we go. Quite happy with that, and I think I'm going to do the same on this one, into my pointy corners, just like that. That one hasn't come out too well, but not to worry, because it's largely going to be covered up by the very vanilla piece. And I am so happy that Stampin' Up have finally given us thick, very vanilla, because we have been asking for it and asking for it and asking for it. Alright, now those pieces are going to layer together. It's just going to be like that, just like that, and that's going to be the sentiment for the front of the card. So let's start assembling, and I'm going to layer these up with a few dimensionals. So I think let's take the backs off and let's layer these up just like that. Right, now that is going to go in the front of my card, so I want to make sure that I don't stick both sides down, because if I do that I won't be able to open my card. So I'm going to decide whether I want that on the top or the bottom, and I think I'm going to stick it down to that side, because when I open up the card you'll still be able to see it. Haha! And wrong end. Let's use some wet glue for this. Tape would do. Very carefully, only putting the adhesive on one side of my medallion. Let me get the card oriented straight, otherwise it will be all skew-if when I come to take it apart. Okay. There we go. So here, gonna let that have a few seconds for the adhesive to set off. Put something down on top of it to make sure that it sticks. Pop it to one side. Right. Now I have some bits and pieces here that I have left over in my box that I thought would go well with the front of the card. Now I went absolutely mad with botanical builders because I just loved them, and I'm really sad that they're going. Very sad indeed. And I've still got a bag full of flowers that I cut and shaped, because I just love them so much, and I am going to be so sad that I can't demonstrate with them anymore, but I'm still going to keep them. I'm still going to have those dies just for my own projects, things that I don't necessarily share with you. And I'm just playing at the moment. I'm just trying to see how I would like these. Now the butterfly die, that is still going to be available, and I think the set is Butterfly Basics. I think we've got two. We've got two butterfly die sets, and this is the one. I think, or is this Bold Butterfly? I'll look it up and I will tell you. I'll put the details there. Okay, you can find that. Right. Okay. So let's have a look. Has this set up enough now for me to play with? So I'm just going to layer these the way I think I'm going to want them. Okay, now I want to make sure that anything I put in this corner doesn't foul that mechanism there, all right? Because I want to make sure that I can open it. But on the other hand, if I put something like that, that may help to keep it closed. I don't know. What do you think, guys? What do you think? Okay. Right, well, I'm going to stick the bits down the way I like them. I'll back in a minute. And there it is finished. And no, you're not seeing things. I have changed the colour of the flowers that I use. The soft sky on the soft sky, apart from being very difficult to say, also wasn't doing anything for me. It was too monochrome. There wasn't enough contrast in it, so I changed it up. I had some pink flowers in my bag of botanical builder flowers. I think these are Blushing Bride, and I think that's Tip Top Taupe in the middle, and that one is Pink Pirouette, and of course my butterfly, which I think is also Tip Top Toe actually, but it does play very nicely with the Sahara Sand. And my frond there is Mint Macaron, and that's another one of the retiring in colours. So if you want to stock up on that, now would be a very good time. But that is it for today, and I would really love to know what you think about my project, so please do leave me a comment below. And if you would like my video and subscribe to my channel, that would also be excellent as well. And hop on over to my Facebook page and let me know what you've been up to, because I really would like to see that. So that is it for now. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.